Well, welcome back to the Sports Swami. This week we've got a very exciting Week 6 schedule. Before we begin that, let's take some time and take a look at how we did on Week 5. On Week 5, we had a little disappointing week. We had 8 wins and 6 losses. There were a couple of those losses that we felt should have been wins, in particular the Tampa Bay game where they really had the game in hand, and the New England Patriots game where they had the game right at the end of the regulation and still lost it. We had a couple of lessons learned in Week 5, one of which is don't bet against Patrick Mahomes. The Saints game should have been an obvious game, but our numbers were telling us that the Saints could have had a better game. The fact that Derek Carr got injured didn't help, but that's the way it goes in sports sometimes. Well, with all that said, let's get into Week 6. First game up is San Francisco visiting Seattle, and although San Francisco's beat up a little bit, we do think the play here is to take San Francisco on the money line. That's not one of our Swami picks. Could go either way, but we think the lean toward San Francisco on the money line is the way to go. The second game is Jacksonville playing at Chicago, but this game is really in England, so it's a mixed field, if you will. Jacksonville has the advantage of being there for 2 weeks, and even with all that being said, we think Caleb Williams is starting to surge, and the best play here would be Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears defense. Take Chicago on the money line. The next game up is Arizona at Green Bay. And while Arizona's been on a roll, Green Bay is also on a roll. And I don't think that Arizona is really a match for Green Bay. So we recommend taking Green Bay on the money line. That's also our first Swami pick. Next up, we have Indianapolis visiting Tennessee. And while Tennessee has just come off of that bye week, should be fairly well rested, we think Indianapolis is starting to get it together. And we like Indianapolis on the money line. Next game up is Houston at New England. And while we think that this should be an obvious choice, remember now that New England is debuting Drake May, who was the 3rd overall pick in the draft last year. He may not come out shining like a top, but he may put some added boost in New England's offense. That being said, we still like Houston on the money line. Next game up is a divisional game, and that's Tampa Bay at New Orleans. With Derek Carr being kind of questionable and this being a divisional game, we do want to take Tampa Bay at the money line. The next game up is Cleveland at Philadelphia. Philadelphia has the benefit of being on that bye week and being well rested. Perhaps they'll get some of their starters back. Even still, we think that the Browns are just in self-destruct mode. We do anticipate this being a fairly easy game with Philadelphia winning, and we recommend taking Philadelphia on the money line. Next game up is a close one. This one would typically be a take Baltimore. Washington was a bottom 5 team last year, and Baltimore's on a roll. Got Derrick Henry. They look really good. However, Jaden Daniels is the X factor here. We think the team is starting to build confidence, and while we don't think it's a safe play to take it on the money line, we do like the 5.5 points, and we recommend that you take Washington and the 5.5 points. The next game up, Los Angeles Chargers playing at Denver, Colorado. And while the Chargers should be rested up coming off a bye, Denver is on a bit of a roll. Their offense is starting to find its feet, and we do like Denver in this situation, especially at home. Our play here would be to take Denver and the 3 points. The next game up is Pittsburgh at Las Vegas. And while we do think that the Raiders' defense can hold its own, we do think that Pittsburgh will be a little bit more than they can handle, and the potential loss of Las Vegas' best wide receiver before the game, or even if he doesn't play, will be devastating to the team. So we do recommend taking Pittsburgh here on the money line. The next game up is a bit of a replay from last year, and that is Detroit visiting Dallas. Detroit is coming off of a bye week. Dallas just had a very tough game with Pittsburgh. We anticipate Detroit taking this game, and we recommend taking Detroit on the money line. The next game up shouldn't really surprise anyone. It's Atlanta visiting Carolina. Since this is a divisional game, we do think that the Falcons will take the game, and we recommend taking the Falcons on the money. The next game is Cincinnati visiting the New York Giants. And although the Giants were surprising last week, and although Cincinnati defense doesn't look that great, we do recommend taking Cincinnati on the money line for this game. Joe Burrow has been playing lights out. We anticipate maybe Daniel Jones taking a step backward. Our last game up is a Monday night game, and that's probably the game of the week. That's Buffalo visiting the New York Jets. This is a divisional game, and interestingly enough, at the time of this filming, the Jets have just fired their head coach, Robert Saleh, and there is a good chance that they will have Davante Adams playing for them by the end of this week. We expect that deal to close today, probably, if it's going to close. Even without Davante Adams, we think the promotion from within of the new head coach usually gives a shot in the arm to the offense, and they want to prove that things are going in the right direction. And we haven't seen much out of the Bills in terms of offense beyond Josh Allen. So we recommend taking the Jets and the 2.5 points. We had 6 Swami picks for the week. Green Bay money line, Houston money, Tampa Bay money line, Philadelphia money line, Pittsburgh money line, Detroit money line, and Atlanta money line. Those are the picks that we feel most confident in, although we do think we're going to have a higher percentage of wins this week. Well, that's it for this week. Thank you all for watching, and as always, please like the video and subscribe so you get all of our latest updates, and write some comments down below. We like to hear from you. Have a good and profitable week.